Well, tonight we take a deep look at the judiciary. In fact, we will turn the heat on this third arm of the government. We will analyze with a tooth comb what exactly this institution is. At the end of it, we may just find justification as to why it's easy for the government and senior officers to get away with contempt of court. So where do we begin? Tonight from Jogo House B, and by extension, Vigilance House, Acting Police Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli has created his chapter in the infamous books of defiance against court orders. He has done this with such impunity that would give a good name to a bad cop. 7 times and 7 times, I repeat, he has ignored express court orders. He has been cited more times than anyone in the recent history by the courts. In fact, his defiance is next to that of the collective government. But this is not our point tonight. While he is not alone, we crown him with the ultimate winner with such brazenness that astonishes. Because of his actions tonight, we wish to flip that coin and be the devil's advocate. Why is Masengeli so confident? Why is he so sure of himself that he pays little regard to the rule of law? Our take tonight is that it's either he is protected by that office or by the powers that be, or his imposing figure tells him he stands tall above many, or alternatively, he knows there is nothing the courts have on him and on Kenyans as a whole. Same courts that send convicts to the gallows. The same courts that can send you to life imprisonment. Now, these same courts that declare a presidential candidate fully elected settles an election dispute. So how can Masengeli defy the courts? Well, we hold that Masengeli has no regard, not only to the rule of law he swore to protect by the Constitution, but also to this arm of the government, the judiciary. And this is why tonight we pick from where he has left. We know he has a case to answer tomorrow in court. Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome should stop complaining and holding press conferences. Chief Justice, put your house in order. Call your troops to order. When the judiciary finds it easy to be vilified, when the citizens lose their respect for this institution, we wonder what is left in this country. But it is because of you and your officers. Because when Kenyans tell you to avoid the dalliance with the executive, you ignore them. When they point out that you are being too cozy and comfortable with the executive, and you should pay attention, when they say collaboration is not shown by bending backwards to accommodate the other arms of the government, even when they are clearly wrong and exercising powers they don't possess, you should listen. You opened the door of defiance when you stop listening to the ground, as they say. Kenyans feel you have been weakened by the executive. Institutions such as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission at one point characterized the judiciary as the weakest link. Your rulings are challenged for want of substance. Justice is said to be hawked in this country and sold to the highest bidder. Yet you expect those you are in bed with to obey the court orders? They don't, they won't, and they can't, and that's where Masengeli is. They have succeeded in giving the dog, the proverbial dog, a bad name, and now it's time to beat it up, and boy, they will wipe the floor with you. That's unless and until you begin to take your responsibility seriously, your position in this setup seriously. We acknowledge that the judiciary is low in confidence due to political interference, attack on the judicial officers, and of course such as these successful attempts to undermine court decisions. Stop lending credence to the saying that why hire a lawyer when you can buy a judge. Our point tonight is not to justify what happened to Justice Lawrence Mugambi, the withdrawal of his security. In fact, we hold it's despicable. Ours is to provoke your thoughts into pressing the reset button. The judiciary, please reclaim your space. A good place to begin tonight at Ken Mijunga across all social media platforms. The headlines.
We are on strike legally, and since they have failed to address our demands, we are now on the streets.
Tonight, public universities stare at long-drawn paralysis as dons and other workers begin nationwide strike over the implementation of their CBA. Public anger mounts over police brutality meted on a 20-year-old multimedia university student during protest on Tuesday. We tell you what happened.
This House approves the appointment of Mr. Douglas Kanja Kirocho.
And Douglas Kanja said to become the new Inspector General of Police after the National Assembly approved his nomination. What lies ahead?
Come beginning of next government year on June, then we shall have the dental assistive, optical, end of life.
Also tonight, from NHIF to SHA, we tell you what's in the new health insurance scheme for you when it begins on the 1st of October. All right, a very good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. The Adani deal is on our menu tonight. A lot to talk about, from